Okay, ladies and gentlemen, going to be doing some extra casting today. It is a Saturday. Usually I do work on Saturdays, but not this week, so we're going to be doing this extra cast of NrGFuzzy, and then tomorrow we're going to do even more casting of him before we do the analysis. So, watch around, what is it, like 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock my time, pretty much at the same time tomorrow as today. So check those out, or if you just want to get better at your play, watch the analysis. You can maybe learn a lot, hopefully, and continue that way. With other news, I do want to kind of do a special thing for my analysis show. I want to have kind of like these separate videos that explain like each thing or each concept in greater detail. And then that way, during the analysis, I don't have to explain quite so much of it. I don't have to go into quite so much detail. And then I can just refer to whichever video corresponds to. So then that way players can look back and look over, this is what he means, this is what he's doing, this is how I can improve my play. So without further ado, let's jump into some games here. We do have NrGFuzzy for us tonight. I do like casting him quite a bit. He is a Zerg player. I generally do cast more Zerg players. Not because I just hate Terran or Protoss, but just I have a lot of Zerg friends. It's just kind of how it happens. So anyways, let's jump right into this game here. And well, we have NrGFuzzy spawned at the bottom 6 o'clock position as our purple Zerg player, and his opponent today is going to be NrGFuzzy, who is plays mean Protoss. He is a very good, strong Protoss player. Do not underestimate him. And he is spawned at the 9 o'clock here as our blue guy. So it is blue against purple. Not going to do red or blue, just going to be red, or blue and purple. Very bluish colors today. But hopefully I remove the overlay. Yes, good, alright. Hopefully won't have any problems today at all. I'm pretty much set to go. I don't have honey water today, but I do have, agave nectar, which is similar to honey, but it's a nice sweetener, but at the same time it's not quite the same. I just wanted to try it out, see if it's good for my throat. Seems like it's alright. It's not like doing quite as much as honey would, but that's what I got right now. I'll probably switch back to honey tomorrow or something like that, because I did pick up some honey as well, so I'm finally on the ball with that. And then I got my pie sitting next to me, some nice pumpkin pie, just going to be chilling, casting some of these games. And well, not much going on as of yet. It looks like Fuzzy, I'm not sure if he's going to go hatch first or pool first, but he does have 14, so we'll see what he plops down. Looks like he is going to be saving for, I want to say a hatchery next, which, I don't know, a lot of players don't like to go hatchery first in this matchup, just because even if a Protoss player puts down a gateway first, if they put down a forge next, then you could still be in a lot of trouble with a cannon rush, so you got to be really careful with how you do that. Nope, he's actually going to be going for the spawning pool. No gas taking quite yet, so he is going to be delaying that speed a little bit. I do like this play a lot. I'm actually starting to do this a little bit more. I'm trying to get away from my own hatch first, because I just hate dealing with those cannons, to be perfectly honest. You put down a hatchery here, and then cannons get plopped down here, here, and here. Of course, can't really do that on this map since it is MLG, the MLG version of Metalopolis here. So looks like he's going to go ahead and plop down that hatch on 16. So spawning pool is going to be coming up in just a moment. Pool is going to be finishing up here, so he'll probably be getting a queen and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, he does have an overlord hovering kind of close to the Protoss base. Could be picked off here once that first stalker comes out, or sentry. We'll see what NrGFuzzy decides to do. He does have a gas so far. Looks like he's about to take his second gas, so I predict that it's going to be a 3-gate expand, pretty typical, especially on this map, Metalopolis. It's a pretty standard map. I mean, a lot can happen on this map, but, I mean, generally speaking, you don't go like 1-gate expansion, because Zerg will just come over and kill you. So it's not, big enough for that, but it's not like small by any means. So let's see, he's going for that for that warp gate technology. Got his first zealot out. Now he's getting the stalker. So he might be looking out for that overlord. Going to be maybe going after it, kicking it out, making sure it doesn't spy on him. And looks like Fuzzy does have a couple of Zerglings marching across the field here. Just going to be scouting around, checking the fronts, and seeing what NrGFuzzy has so far. For all he knows, this could be a gateway. Or actually, he might actually know that it's a cyber. That's something that I actually struggled with for a while, just like checking to make sure that it's a cyber instead of a forge. Because, I mean, then it's just like, oh, you get blindsided by cannons. Oh, nice. And that just ruins everyone's day. So make sure you check that. Anyways, the two Zerglings going to be popping in there, checking things out. Stalker is there, so Zerglings are not going to stick around for any longer. It looks like he is going to be going for a robotics facility, so I did kind of screw up my prediction here, which is kind of atypical. Generally speaking, you do go for a 3-gate expand, especially on this map. It's just so standard. But then again, Zerg could bust in there. You know, there's a nice roach timing with Zerglings. You can just build a bunch of roaches if you want and get a +1 with that, and then attack in there, and then, you know, follow it up with a bunch of Zerglings. So you got Zerglings streaming in, you got roaches doing a bunch of damage, and that's just not fun for Protoss to deal with. So looks like he's going to go ahead to get an Immortal out first. And, well, he does have another gateway up here, so we'll see when he plops down an expansion, if he decides to do some kind of pressure with that. So it looks like the Stalkers are in the back here just checking things out, making sure no Overlords catch wise of that robotics facility. It's actually at a very good spot here. No Overlord is going to be coming in from this direction here, so I mean, that is quite the good spot. Now, of course, Zerglings can attack the front here, but it is kind of far away from that too, so it's a good distance away from pretty much everything. You know, an Overlord could come around the back here, but it's just not nearly as likely to come in over this direction here. So looks like he is going to be going for War Prism here, so we'll see some special tactics with that War Prism and this Immortal, maybe some sentries with that, and just do some good force fielding, and then, you know, your Immortal can do a whole bunch of damage. Looks like Fuzzy just getting his Roach Warren up. He does have a Spine Crawler up here as well, actually a couple going up, so he's going to have a total of 3 here. And what's that? That's an Evolution Chamber, so he's going to be possibly getting a +1 for his Roaches. All that good stuff. Apparently Fuzzy forgot something. I'm not sure if it was the speed is late or what, but something happened. And Fuzzy, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if maybe he spotted that and he just like, okay, maybe I'm not quite as prepared for this. But there's 2 Stalkers in there and an Immortal. Now, they are passing right by these Overlords, so I believe Fuzzy is going to know that it's coming. And there's that Queen going to be attacking that, but the Immortal is definitely going to be forcing that away. Now, there's 3 Queens here. He doesn't really have a lot of units out, but he's making 22 Zerglings. That's 11 sets. And if CUHZ wants to, you could actually just pick up now and get the heck out of Dodge, save all these units. And actually, he's trying to do a little bit of damage. He totally forgot to pick up that Stalker. Oh well. And that War Prism trying to get out alive. Ooh, he was going to drop that Immortal thinking that the Queens were going to catch up, but no. Potato. And, well, that Immortal's going to live. But that War Prism definitely almost dead. You got to be watching out for that. Don't want to be losing units for nothing pretty much. And, well, now he's got a gateway going up, another gateway. And I believe he's probably going to be expanding here. Now, I wish he would expand during that pressure, but Fuzzy does have a couple Zerglings out here. Could have chased him away, but I don't know, he's just choosing not to. And, well, let's see, what is he doing now? Fuzzy is getting up a 3rd at the natural 3rd and all that good stuff. He does have pretty good, well, his larva could be a little bit better, but, you know, whatever, it happens, it happens. You know, this guy's not pro level, but he is like what I consider sub-pro level. A lot of top level masters actually look at Fuzzy and say, hey, you're actually really good at this game. You're really good at playing Zerg. And I mean, Fuzzy's like their same ranking, and it's just, Fuzzy just hasn't gotten into Grandmaster, you know? He plays a lot, he just hasn't gotten in, and, well, he's gonna have to play some more practice up and kick some ass, so. I do know Fuzzy likes to do his counterattack, so we'll see what he chooses to do, if he counterattacks or not. Now, Protoss has not expanded, so I mean, there's not really a big window to counterattack. He could do some drops, something like that. Looks like Protoss is coming out now. But, you know, with these 2 buildings at the ramp, it's pretty well fortified here. If Fuzzy tried to get in there with some Zerglings, a Zealot could easily just be warped in there. You know, these players are of that caliber. They do have good reflexes like that, so we'll see what happens here. It looks like CUHZ going to be plopping down that War Prism. Possibly landing an Immortal there. Yeah, okay, there it is. I was going to say, if he's going to keep that in there, that would definitely be a blunder. 1 Zergling getting picked off there. Now, he does need to worry about this creep. This creep is spread pretty good. I wish he had an Observer up, but not a big deal. You know, maybe just more Immortals. You know, didn't want to spend the extra little bit of time to make an Observer. And, well, Fuzzy has a bunch of Hydras out, so, I mean, I don't think CUHZ really wants to attack in here, but at the same time, he doesn't have an expansion. You really need that expansion going. If you don't have the expansion going, then, well, this is pretty much all in play right here. A whole bunch of Immortals, a bunch of Sentries, and a handful of Stalkers and Zealots. So, looks like that 1 Spine Crawler taken out, another one going to be taken out here, and all the Fuzzy's units are stuck at the top of the ramp here. trying to get down there, but with so many sentries, I believe he's just going to keep force fielding that. There's no way Fuzzy's going to be able to keep this expansion now. Just kind of a blunder, you know, it's kind of thinking, okay, maybe my opponent's going to be warping up there with the Stalkers. I need to be up there just in case. But, you know, just totally being caught off guard here with that force field. All of his units, you know, all these Hydralisks, all these Zerglings, and I really wish CUHZ would expand right now. If he expanded right now, got that up, he could not even have, he wouldn't even have to kill this main off. He could just, you know, kill this off and be totally cool with sitting back for a little while, you know, one base up and all that. So I don't know. It looks like he's just going to continue to kill this base off. I don't know if he's going to. It looks like he really just isn't going to expand. He definitely has the money for it. I'm really curious as to why he's not expanding. And well, Sentry's still out here trying to keep all these units at bay. Very good job there. A couple of Zerglings just popping out of those larvae that were left over from that hatchery. And, well, let's see, Evolution Chamber. Looks like he has his +1 attack for missiles and +1 for armor. And Fuzzy actually taking another base right now at the other position here. You really wanted to keep up on those bases. You want to be careful with that. Now, CUHC pretty much has to keep going with this. He has to take this big army out. And, well, I don't know if this is the best time to engage for Fuzzy. He really needs to engage so a little bit more on top of him. But all these cells are actually stuck again in that force field. Huge blunder from CUHC. This is kind of one of those things that happens. But at the same time, Zerglings can't attack everything also. And, well, all the immortals are going down now. There's no roaches out here. These immortals are actually not doing much at all. And, well, CUHC has added on a few units, but I don't believe it's going to be enough. I really wish he expanded during all this. Fuzzy is going to be able to take this. And, well, he even has an expansion going up. That's going to be finishing up here in just a minute. And he's probably going to be expanding once again to his natural, you know, while he does his counterattack. Now, CUHZ, he's got to be, yeah, low on minerals here. He doesn't have a lot of probes. It's 30 probes, 34 drones. Now, that seems like it's really even, but if you consider Zerg has some good tech, he has this hatchery going up. At this point, when you see that many Hydralisks, you really want a Colossus out or some High Templar or something. CUHZ just doesn't have anything like that. You just stick into gateway tech, and as you know, Hydralisks just tear through that gateway army, so you gotta be really careful. And let's see, does he have the speed for his overlords? He does not. I was gonna say he could just get an overlord out here, take out some of these buildings. That would at least be something. But it looks like he's gonna be forced to retreat. CUHZ, meanwhile, just cranking out some more probes. Just gonna be chilling with that. You know, not a big deal. Just gonna be. You want your workers. You know, if you're going all in, I usually say, hey, maybe you want to stop at a certain time off one base, but you know, and that's if you're going all in. But usually I don't say you should go all in. But well, since he is, I really don't see why he needs more probes, because he's definitely not going to give up another expansion with this. Alright, so now there's a couple of overseers here going to be spotting that, killing off the 7x core, and now CUHZ is going to be stranded with Zealots. Colossus coming out now. He does have that Lubak Bay, and it looks like the Zerglings have been sacrificed, and Hydra just running away now back to the base, back to the home fronts, and a couple of roaches are out here as well. So Fuzz is going to be sitting pretty good with this extra expansion over here. Let's see, units, well, he could get some extra drones out here, but yeah, once again, he does have that natural finish now. He does, you know, he has 3 mining bases, where CUHZ is going to be getting kind of low on his one base here. Fuzzy getting kind of low too, but at the same time he does have some extra bases. But, well, a couple of Zealots being warped in the back there, being taken out by a couple of units here. And, well, I don't know, Fuzzy pretty much has this game under wraps. We'll see if CUHZ is able to do a final good push here. Okay, so he's finally expanding at the natural. This is 60 minutes in the game. That's not when you want to be expanding. You want to be expanding at like 8 minutes. Or if you're doing this kind of build, maybe at like 10 or 12 minutes. Not this late. This is just ridiculous. So he really has to do a lot of damage here. And, well, Fuzzy, he has quite the force here. He doesn't, you know, CUHZ does not have the force to take on this Zerg army. Some pretty good force fields going down. The Colossus kind of killed off there, and CUHZ getting the GGs. So Fuzzy winning. I don't know. CUHZ just, I wish he got that expansion up a lot sooner. And he could have, you know, while he was doing that first pressure with the Immortal drop, he could have actually done alright, you know? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. So that was game number 1. I'm not actually sure how many games I'm going to be doing today. but we'll see when my voice gets tired. We'll see how late it gets and all that. So I do have a bunch here. I'm not gonna count them all, but I'm gonna have to save some of them for tomorrow. So here we go into game number 2 and all that good stuff. Alright, so we have Sterling, who apparently plays Terran, spawned at the bottom 7 o'clock position as our red guy, also known as the Terran human person. And of course we have NrGFuzzy spawned at the top 1 o'clock position here as our blue guy. Red against blue. We like those colors a lot, or I guess Blizzard likes those colors a lot. They don't really let you choose too much. You either get red or blue in the ladder, and that is final. Now, of course, it does help out with just like seeing your opponents on the minimap. Now, of course, you could do, well, you can't really do it here, but there's Alt F, which allows you to just have red and blue no matter what. Or I think it's actually red and green. Like, you're always green, they're always red. And that just allows you to, you know, see your opponent on the minimap. Red's pretty much the color that most stands out. So if you ever have trouble looking at the minimap, you know, it just really helps to have that Alt F function available so that you can just toggle it and say, hey, you know what, you're playing as black right now. I can't really see you on this map. It's a dark map. Let's change it into red, because then you can see what's going on. But Sterling here going to be going up with that barracks after that supply depot. So he's just cranking out some SVs for now. Now this is cross positions on the Shattered Temple, so we'll see when Terran expands, then we'll see when Terran takes out the rocks and then expands up here, or if he takes out the rocks at the gold and expands there. Looks like Fuzzy going to be expanding first. Pretty typical of this matchup, just get up that hatch first on 15. Actually, it was a 14 hatch. Now he's got a 15 or a 14 drone going on, so I believe he's going to be getting a spawning pool next, and then maybe some speed, or maybe speed first. Actually, it looks like he's going for speed first. With that speed first, of course, he's going to be able to get up some fast Zergling speed. Now, this is pretty much just in case his opponent decides, okay, I'm just going to build a bunch of Marines and attack you, and expand behind it. And then, you know, if you don't have Zergling speed by then, you're pretty much screwed. So I'm really glad to see that he's doing that. Meanwhile, it looks like Fuzzy did manage to get up a drone in the Terran base before that wall was completed. Just going to be running around and looking to see if he can do some extra damage to these SCVs. Now, in Zerg against Terran, I'd always suggest attacking SCVs with your drone, because SCVs have to go back and repair each other to heal. You know, with that in mind, you know, Protoss regenerates shields, Zerg regenerate hit points automatically. So, I mean, these SCVs are pretty much hit forever. Like, they've lost his hit points. This guy only 20, but, you know, he's going to have those hit points lost the entire game. So if Zerglings manage to get in here, they could do a lot of damage and kill those SCVs off a lot sooner. Looks like the drone was taken out now. You know, until those SCVs have repaired each other. So anyways, Fuzzy's expansion is now completed. Going to be adding on some queens, getting up his speed. He has the gas for it. Looks like he's just saving up a little bit of money for it. And just for the record, if you ever have like a ton of gas, like just enough gas for speed, and you just can't get it quite yet, try to delay it a little bit, because that way you can get up the same number of drones and get up this, you know, get the speed right when you get that 100 gas, and just allow you to get up a little bit of extra drones, you know, a little bit of extra money. But yeah, he could have just gotten that gas and then realized, okay, Terran's not going to be attacking me right now, so let's actually not get it right away. So, you know, there is that. He could be just deciding, okay, I'm going to have this gas just in case I can get the speed whenever I want. But yeah, it looks like Terran is going to be going ahead with those Hellions, getting 2 out at a time with that reactor. Now Tech Lab's coming online with that barracks. So with that in mind, you know, red here, Sterling is going to be attacking or doing some harassment. I don't want to say attacking. I think a lot of casters should actually start saying harassment or pressure, not actually attacking, because players think, oh, attacking, you know. I'm going to go in there and attack, try to do as much damage as possible. That's not what's going on here. These 2 Hellions are not going to go back there and try to kill off as many drones as possible. No, these Hellions are actually for map control. Don't try to kill off things. Now, if you have a small opportunity like this spawn car just rearranging, then yeah, you can get in there and actually do some damage. That's fine, that's good. But you don't want to be sacrificing your Hellions. This is actually maybe somewhat of a misstep here. You know, just try not to lose them. Now, of course, these two Hellions have kind of trapped themselves in the main here. They're going to pretty much be dead. There's no way Zerg's not going to kill off these Hellions unless they just kind of squeeze by, but, well, he's going to have to do as much damage as possible now. And at the lost tab, if this Hellion goes down, we'll see what it looks like. Another drone picked off there, and now the Hellion's still running around. It's actually still alive. The Zerglings do not have the speed, and that's kind of an issue there when you get that late Zergling speed. Let's see, there's that Hellion roaming around. And, well, Queen's going to get the final shot, looks like. Nope! He's going to sneak by him with 4 hit points, just going to be doing a little bit of extra damage. And there he goes. Alright, so as you can see, Terran really did not... He came out ahead like 50 minerals. It's not as good as you might think to get Hellions in the back there, because players are actually starting to get really good at just killing them off. So, I mean, you got to be really careful. Zerg really is not behind at all at this point. And it looks like Sterling actually going to be following this up with a nice Marine tank attack here. Now, he does have siege mode on the way. It looks like he's actually going to be bringing his SCVs. But now the Zerglings are coming around for a counterattack. Looks like this tank might be in trouble here. Nope. And now, well, Sterling has just revealed his all-in play here. So we'll see how many units Fuzzy ends up getting. He's getting up the Bandling Nest and a bunch of Zerglings right now, and layers. So, I mean, he could actually probably cancel the layer. I don't know if he's actually going to be using it at this point, because this is an all-in play here. So, I don't know. We'll see how much damage Sterling is able to do. He really pretty much has to kill Fuzzy off right now. Otherwise, this is going to be GG for him. As he's coming in here now, he's going to be going for that Spine Crawler. A couple of Zerglings out here as well. Now the Marines are behind them. You want to keep your Marines behind the SVs. The SVs, of course, absorbing the damage. And the Spine Crawler does go down. There is another one alive, but Siege mode has finished. Sieging up there by the ramp here. It's going to be really hard for Zerg to actually get some units down here to attack. Now, there are a lot of Marines left, not a lot of SCVs. Counting tab, there's only 5 SCVs left on the field. Now, here comes the Bandlings, and those Marines do not even have skill. This is actually kind of a big blunder on Terran's part. You want to have that systems all in. Otherwise, this happens, you just kind of lose, and yeah. Either way, I would say all-in plays are not what you want to do ever. Basically, because master level players and above are going to just always stop it. For me, for example, I pretty much always stop all-in plays unless I really just don't see it coming. That's just like my fault. And well, now Sterling is going to have to GG here. He has no SVs left. He has like a mule and 3 SCVs. That's just not enough. He's actually going to be putting them in the gas here. So yeah, GG tee. It's just kind of a funky little game here. Terran all-ins, don't do it. Just don't do it. I mean, if you're playing to win, I guess you can do it. You're going to win some games. Then you're going to hit the points where you're just not going to win any games like that any longer. So I'd suggest just not doing it. Try to have better play. Try to be the better gamer and not all-in ever. I mean, there's the 1 base all-in, then there's the 2 base all-in, then there's the 3 base all-in. I would say that most players are starting to do the 3 base all-in. They're not doing the 2 base anymore. Like, you know, the start of StarCraft, a lot of players are doing 1 base all-in, or StarCraft 2, I should say. And then they got a little bit better, got a little bit more advanced, could expand at a certain time, so now they do that. And now they're trying to get into 3 base all-in, which is really good. And then some players actually go for fourths and all that. But players are generally not as experienced in the later stage of the game, so I can understand them doing a 3 base all-in. But I don't know. I try to tell people to do a little bit better. So anyways, that's going to wrap up this second game. Let me eat some of this pie because it looks delicious and I want some right now. Oh, that's some delicious pie. Alright. Nothing like topping it off with a little agave water. Agave, I think it's called, actually. I always pronounce things wrong. But anyways, here's our third game. We have Liquid Angel spawning as our red Protoss player at the top 12 o'clock position on Metalopolis. And, well, once again, we have NrGFuzzy spawned at the 2 o'clock as our blue guy, also known as a red, or the not red, apparently. I just never get the colors right, but he's the blue guy. He's our Zerg player, and they are in the close air positions here. So now this, I believe, is a ladder replay, so they got to know that their opponent cannot spawn across ground positions here. or I should say close ground positions. They can spawn cross ground. But we'll see what Fuzzy decides to do. Now, generally speaking, he likes to open with a pool first, and then a hatchery, and then a gas. So we'll see what he does today. He just got that overload out. Gonna be cranking out a couple more drones, and then there's that timing for a hatchery or for a pool. Who knows? Maybe he'll just go for gas first, you know? So, anyway, a couple of drones cranking out here. Protoss I don't really like to watch early on because that's generally the same stuff every time. And there's an extractor, so actually he's going to be going extractor. Not going to be delaying the speed, just going to get it right away, ASAP. Doesn't want to deal with Zergling, or with Zealots at all. And, you know, actually I hate dealing with Zealots early on. It's just kind of a annoying thing. You kind of want to see him coming, and if you don't see him coming, then you just lose a couple drones. But then, of course, he loses a couple of Zealots, so it's actually probably good for Zerg in that exchange. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you lose a lot of drones, so gotta be careful of that. Anyways, he is getting up that pool behind the extractor, gonna be hiding it a little bit. So this probe coming in here gonna be saying, okay, where's the pool? There's no hatchery going down. Alright, what's going on here? Now, of course, since it is Zerg, you can't really hide your buildings that much. It's got to be around this area, so I believe he's going to be checking it out. Or maybe just assumes that there is one. It looks like there was a surround on that probe. Oh, and that last guy getting that kill off. That guy just going to be a hero miner. He's going to be mining away at those minerals. I really wish they would give him like some slight benefit if they have a bunch of kills, you know, like for a worker maybe like 2 kills, and then they get like maybe like a +1 damage or something, you know, like actually a +1 damage on a worker is actually quite a lot, but at the same time it would be nice, you know, it'd be really nice to have like something so that you want to keep your units alive. I think that would just be a good incentive instead of like sacrificing your Hellions. You try to kill as many workers and then get out of there alive, like that's how you want to be doing it anyways. So I wish Blizzard would just put something there so that you'd have more incentive to play correctly, is what I guess I'm saying here. So, anyways, Liquid Angel is going to be chronoing out some Warp Gate tech. He does have a Zealot down there. Now, he did not wall in here. This is kind of a weird situation. Now, Zerg is not going to be attacking in there, so, you know, he just chose not to. It's faster to build guys up here, or I mean the buildings over here by your minerals. So if you build them at the wall, it's kind of like saying, okay, I'm not going to have a couple of extra minerals, but I'm going to be safer. Now, it looks like Fuzzy scouting that, saying, hey, there's no buildings here. Maybe I'll do some damage here. No, it looks like he's not going to be building on any Zerglings right now. He's getting up his speed and all that. So now the speed's actually finishing at a good time for these Zerglings. These Zerglings are possibly going to get out alive just because that speed's going to be finishing up here. Oh, no, they're going around to the back. What is he doing? I'm not really sure. Trying to confuse Stalker. Stalker still kind of killed him off, and now the speed finishes. So I wish he could have gotten those out alive. It would have been nice to have them at the watchtower or something like that. But you know, not a big deal. Anyways, it looks like Liquid Angel going to wall in here now. Actually, come to think of it, Fuzzy probably kept those Zerglings over here, trying to just bait that Stalker out there. So that the Zerglings could just run by, but as you can see, he already has a Sentry up and a Zealot, so that's not really going to work either way. Now, he does have a whole bunch of Zerglings here. They do have the speed. He didn't add on, you know, he actually added on quite a few, but at the same time, you know, just be careful. Try not to add on any more, you know, like if your all-in fails, or if you do some pressure and it just fails, then you just don't have enough drones. So you want to just get the right amount. I believe this is probably just a little bit too much. And, well, he's going to be cranking out drones from here on out. Definitely. There's no other way. If you just kept cranking out Zerglings, that would just be bad. So, it's going to be drones from here on out. Going to be an Evolution Chamber coming up as well. Going to be getting up that +1 for Zerglings, I believe. And then possibly expanding once he gets up X drones. And then going for some mutas. That's kind of the play I like to see. That's the kind of play that professional players do. And it looks like Protoss is going to be fast expanding here. Actually, it's not that fast. It's actually a 3-gate expand. But, well, these Zerglings try to do what they can. I believe that's what these Zerglings were for, just, you know, to do a nice timing attack when this base goes up. What's he doing? He's kind of just running around, going for that Sentry. Very good there. Ooh, there he goes. Alright. So you want to avoid those Zealots as much as possible. Now there's even more Zealots. You can't really do any more damage with that, so you gotta get out of there. Don't sacrifice your Zerglings. These Zealots are just gonna kill them off. You know, if you can, do a little bit of damage to this Nexus. You know, I killed off that Sentry, which is very good. But you know, try not to do it too much like that. Otherwise, you're going to lose too many guys. Now, there is a Void Prism, or Void Ray out. Going to be attacking this Overlord, checking for that third. Now, if there was a third going up right now, which is pretty much the normal timing for a lot of players, then, you know, that is what would be going on right now. So, I don't know, Fuzzy does have a couple queens out here, so he's going to be alright, but that Void Prism, or Void Ray, could potentially pick that off if he had it placed down. Now these two queens could be doing some good damage to it. He needs to get out of there before he loses too many hit points here. You pretty much just want to lose the shield and then run out of there. Don't want to be losing your hit points on. He lost a lot of hit points there, but he is going to be escaping alive. With that in mind, you can keep watch over the third expansion here. Going to be seeing if Zerg takes it or not. Now Zerg is actually going to be taking it. Fuzzy heading his drone over there. Now this this Void Ray is actually going to be moving along. And, well, Fuzzy just going to be getting lucky with that. Now, if that hatchery went down, and then the Overlord, or the... how many different things am I going to call this Void Prism? Or Void Ray? Alright, well, now it's going to be attacking. But if he set it down, and then the Void Prism was still there, or Void Ray was attacking it, he could have actually gotten killed off pretty fast there. But it looks like this hatchery is going to be just fine as his queen's coming up to defend it. Looks like he did cancel it just to make sure he didn't lose it, A, and then B, you don't want to have it alive with like 2 hit points, so yeah, you want to be careful with that. Now the Void Ray is taking some more damage. He does have 3 kills from drones. And, well, this queen is going to be taking it out now. Oh, well, he did force another cancel, so that is good. But the Void Ray actually coming home a hero. You know, 3 kills is not what makes this guy a hero. It's the fact that he's alive, first of all, and second of all, he did delay that hatchery twice, so pretty good play there. Pretty good play there. Alright, so Fuzzy here got up another extra queen just in case. Looks like he has, well, his Roach upgrade coming along, the Gajile Reconstruction. Golial, I think it's called the Golial. Yeah, Golial Reconstruction. For the Zergling, or the Roach plus speed, and of course, a nice +2 attack for a Zergling. So I believe he's probably going to be doing a nice 2-base or 3-base time and attack here. And while there's an Overseer back here, going to be dropping the Changeling. Dropping the Changeling. Going to be just kind of hovering there. Going to be sitting long, not going to be doing anything. Now, if he started to move around too much, then he'd probably be spotted. I'm kind of... no, I'm really surprised that players don't really notice Changelings as much. I mean, sure, their screens like everywhere. They're taking care of this base and taking care of this base, and Zerglings coming around over here, and then of course you got your Changeling that's just kind of chilling there. So I guess you just kind of miss it, but whatever. All right, so Void Prism or Void Ray. Wow, I don't know why I keep screwing that up, but he's still around. Me just checking out, making sure the watchtowers are not held by a Zerg unit. Now there's a Spire going up, so Fuzzy here going to be getting up probably some Corruptors here. Now there is, you know, the Stargate's making units still, the robotics facilities making some Colossus, so that's why I say probably Corruptors. But we'll see if he goes Mutas. Mutas can be a good harass tool, especially if you see a whole bunch of robotics units coming out or Colossus tech. Because, I mean, he's just not going to have as many Stalkers. You know, for example, you see the Stargate, and he goes Robo. There's not a lot of gateways here to make a lot of Stalkers, so I mean, he's not going to have a lot of Stalkers. So which means he should actually be adding on cannons right now. But of course, he has not scouted that Spire. Actually, he has an Observer running around, doesn't he? I thought I saw one. Apparently not. But the Spire's now finished, so some Corruptors are coming out. Alright, so no Mutas. It's going to be going Corruptor. And we'll see when he takes a 4th base. I don't know, I like to take my bases pretty darn fast. Like, if I'm not harassed at all, like 12 minutes I have like 5 bases, so... and like a million drones, but of course these guys are better than me. No, not to over drone, no to get tech at a certain point so that you don't die. And well, Liquid Angel coming out of his base now. He does have 2 Colossus, a Void Ray, some Stalkers, and some Zealots. So, well, he's even adding on some more Stalkers and Colossus. But I don't believe this is going to be enough. I don't know, Fuzzy here does have quite a few guys here. The Zerglings, of course, do have the +2 attack. Roaches have the speed. And even has Corruptors out to deal with those Colossus, so I don't really feel like this is going to be enough. Of course, I would like to see an expansion. Why don't these players expand? Do you really want to expand this time while you're pushing out like this? And then, well, there's an Overlord there, so you can't really expand right now, but, you know, it's kind of something you want to do. because then you don't all in. This is pretty much a 2-base all in right now. So it's going to be adding on some more units. I'm surprised there's only 2 Void Rays in that. Pretty good force field going on there, killing off a couple of roaches there. Some more force fields going on in the back, and trapped 1 additional roach. And, well, this is somewhat of a scary push here from Liquid Angel. I really wish he would get up an expansion and just keep adding on guys from there on out. But he does have a little bit of money saved up. Kind of a blunder right now. And looks like Liquid Angel going to be coming around to the 3rd here. Going to be checking out, making sure there's no expansion on there with that pylon. Going to be warping in additional units to take this on. Now, there are a lot of roaches out here that he does not have plus attack force roaches. But you don't really want a lot of Zerglings in this kind of, you know, against this kind of big ball for Protoss. So, I don't know, looks like there was some pretty good force fields going on. Looks like the roaches doing as much damage as they can, getting up close to the first one. And of course, the Protoss doing some good damage to the Colossus. And, well, Zerg, since he's able to just add on some more roaches, and be able to take this out in due time. Not going to be taking it out right now, but, well, once he gets up a few more roaches, he's sitting pretty good. Now, Protoss here, you know, really pretty much has to kill Fuzzy with this. He has to just keep adding guys and eventually kill him. Otherwise, he's just going to lose. He's going to run out of minerals. He only has so many minerals left. He does have a lot of probes, it looks like. 56 probes, 72 drones. That's a lot of freaking drones. But we'll see if Fuzzy keeps adding on some roaches and defending this properly. Ooh, a couple of roaches coming in the back here. I really wish he would have stuck with his main crew. You know, if you went around this other way, and then you could have had them all together and reinforced them and had a bigger ball of roaches right now. But, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? All in play from Liquid Angel. We'll see if it fails or if it takes a win here. Couple of droners going to do some remote mining, it looks like. I hope he plops down that hatchery once again somewhere. And I'm really just surprised that Liquid Angel's not expanding at all. I mean, he has the money for it. If he spends... I mean, if you use all of his chrono and everything, he'd still have some extra money. Might as well expand. He should be expanded right now. Or he should have expanded already, I should say. Alright, well, Fuzzy here going to be just getting up a couple of spines for some defense. He does have a macro hatch, so I mean, this isn't really like... You know, like each hatch, I mean, if you're building roaches, it's kind of like having 3 gates or 4 gates. Or I mean, like 2 or 3 gates per hatch. So he's 3 hatcheries. So that's like a whole bunch of roaches that can come out at once. I mean... You know, compared to... Okay, so Protoss is going to be expanding now at the gold. And, well, Fuzzy here. Just going to be adding on more units. More units and that hatchery back at 3rd. I don't know, I really just wish I saw this sooner. I wish this would go up a lot sooner. But at the same time, you know, Fuzzy could do a counterattack. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense to not put it up right away, but it's... I don't know, I feel like it's a big blunder. It's gotta be. This, now, Liquid Angel is still not ahead right now. I mean, I'm not even, if you don't look at the units, if you don't look at, oh, he has more probes or whatever, if you discard that, Fuzzy's still ahead because he has more production, he's able to support more production. And, I mean, there's a big scary push, or force here from Angel, but it's not enough to really attack in there right now. He's really got to build up better production, otherwise Fuzzy's just going to keep getting more and more guys, and Angel's just going to lose. Well, a couple of probes being picked off there. Looks like the Red's going to be coming around here. And they do have a +1 now, and it looks like the Stalkers do have a plus armor and plus attack. And now a couple of roaches coming in for the kill at the gold. Now that's exactly what you want to be doing. Now this huge army is just pretty much tailing Fuzzy here, giving him a big opportunity to just come in here and attack this 3rd here. So, kind of a blunder there. You know, your units are a little bit slower than these roaches. These roaches are pretty darn fast. 3 movement speed. Stalkers have just under that 2.95. But killing off that head or that Nexus and running out of there. Looks like he's losing actually a lot of roaches there. Kind of a big blunder there. Well, let's see if he replaces them. I mean, he does have 13 more in production, plus these already out. So with his 3rd already back up, he's going to be sitting pretty good after denying that. So Liquid Angel coming once again with his giant force. We'll see if he's able to do enough damage, or if he's going to be forced to run away. Picking off some creep here, very good. Finally got that observer out. He's going to be checking things out, making sure that, well, you know, creep, if you have too much creep, it's really kind of sucks. It's kind of a big deal. Zerglings and roaches can just counterattack you, can just attack you. It's hard for you to retreat after an attack, so it's really good they took that out. It's kind of a big deal. I would say it's a little bit of a bigger deal in Terran against Zerg, but in this matchup it is still a big deal. So I mean, I'm glad they took that out now. He even has, let's see, a little bit less food than Zerg. Kind of mismanagement here. He does have a lot of roaches back here. Didn't use with that those roaches up here. And this is actually such a scary push. Almost a 200 food push here from Protoss. And well, NrGFuzzy, he's gonna, well, he's not gonna be expanding there right now. These drones gonna be picked off. And Liquid Angel's actually doing a very good job, just kind of chilling out. You don't want to be just going in there like, oh, I have 200 food, let's go in there and try to kill him, because you could just lose all your guys. You want to try to kill as much as you can for free, get more and more and more ahead. Now, he did kind of do this early. He should have not attacked this bottom location. It should have attacked here, because yeah, this counterattack is pretty scary. You kind of need this Nexus right now. His main's mined out, his natural is getting there for sure. And now this Nexus is going to be going down once again just because he has bad army movement here. So, actually, it might actually. Is it going to survive? Is it going to survive? The Roach is doing as much damage as they can to it. Okay, so it is going to survive with a fair, healthy amounts of hit points there. And, well, Fuzzy losing a few units there, but, you know, if he took that out, that would have definitely been a big win for him. And, I don't know, I'd like to see a little more of manipulation of his army. At first he sent his roaches back here, and his, you know, Angel's army was just tailing behind. And so he's able to just take out this Nexus. That was really nice. I like to see that kind of play, like, harass here. Once you see his army going to kill that off, then harass here. You know, pull back from this location, and then harass here. That's really how you want to be doing multi-attacks. Now Fuzzy is good at multi-attacks, it just looks like he's not doing any this game. He's going ahead for these straight pushes. He's got to be really careful because this giant ball is slow. He can't really defend so many locations at once. I would actually say this is a blunder at the gold here. Just not able to defend this properly. If Fuzzy attacked it, you know, the correct way. So, I don't know, Fuzzy doing as much as you can. Oh yeah, some nice manipulation there. You know, showed up, said, hey, you know what, I'm going to be attacking your natural. And then just swings in here with a couple of roaches and kills off the third. Now this is kind of a blunder, losing a bunch of roaches here. I wish he had the burrow. If he's going this many roaches, he had burrow movements, he could just slide under those, you know, those force fields and be just fine now. Meanwhile, there is a lot of roaches up here. They do have a +2 up now. A couple of corruptors as well is flying around. And looks like they're going to be swinging around, going for the third once again. Baiting them out with a couple of roaches here. Now, this is what you want to be careful of as Protoss. If you have so many bases in so many different locations, you're going to be counterattacked all the time. That's just how you should be playing Zerg. So, I really wish he would have gotten up a base here, put up some buildings here, and all that good stuff, because this is just really kind of annoying. You know, you want to defend your third that's going up, but at the same time, if you defend your third, your natural is totally exposed. You can lose a whole bunch of stuff, and Fuzzy just doing as much damage as he can. Now, some Protoss players will be like, okay, I need to counterattack in this position. That might be a good idea right here, but at the same time, Zerg just has so much. You know, if you counterattack, that'd be the end of it. You know, you gotta know that your army has to kill off his army. If it doesn't, then you're gonna lose. And it has to kill it off by a pretty wide margin, because Zerg's just gonna keep adding on guys. And while there's a lot of roaches up here, doing some damage again to a third. Nexus is just completing. We'll see if Fuzzy is going to be adding on some more roaches. He does have some more in production. He's going to be moving them up there. Meanwhile, the big force of Fuzzy was taken out near the natural third of Protoss, Liquid Angel. And, well, this Nexus is still intact. So Liquid Angel actually successfully defended that very nicely. And, well, he does have a lot of gas here, so I wish he'd spend that a little bit. But all in all, you know, that was pretty nice, considering Zerg was attacking from so many different directions. Now, oh, nice. Roach drop. We do have 12 roaches total coming over to the main. So with that in mind, all these units, or all these buildings are going to be in trouble. And, well, Liquid Angel's not going to be able to add on a whole lot of units here after that. So, okay, so Warp Gate's going to be going down. Meanwhile, there's a nice counterattack coming up to the third. So what does Angel do in this position? Alright, looks like he's going to be defending his third, because that's his lifeline. He's just going to have to lose a whole bunch of production here. Just doesn't have anything to deal with this right now. A bunch of roaches running back now. Seeing that there's a big army of angels still there at the third. Not going to be engaging that very nicely down there. Fuzzy. But Fuzzy is still going after all the tech here. It looks like Void Rays have come out to deal with this. So very nice split from Liquid Angel. Just going to be going after his roaches with those voids. And taking whatever building losses he has to. I mean, he can't really afford to move his giant army over there. And I really wish Fuzzy would have lifted up into those overlords and then flew back home, you know, with those roaches. But not a big deal since it is, you know, a later game kind of stage. And when you're at 200 food, you can afford to lose a couple of guys here and there. Just don't want to lose a lot, as long as you're getting off enough kills here. So, you know, killing off that Forge and Twilight Council and all that good stuff. Okay, so Liquid Angel actually getting really low there on probes up there. He's doing a good counterattack, or a big attack, I should say, in the fronts here. Not really a counterattack. Going after those spores. And Fuzzy doesn't really have a lot to defend with this right now. He has more money saved up. He's producing a Greater Spire and some Corruptors, but I don't know if that's going to be done in time. There's just such a big force here from Liquid Angel. He only has the +1 armor, +1 attack, so I mean Fuzzy is kind of up on upgrades right now, if you include the Zerglings. So, wow, actually, Fuzzy actually doing massive amounts of damage to these Stalkers, so it looks like he's going to be pulling ahead, and this army is going to be taken out here. Fuzzy is going to be forcing the GG upon Liquid Angel. Look at that massacre. All these roaches still alive, in fact, and even some more roaches in production, so very nicely done there from Fuzzy. And, well, Liquid Angel, once you get into this position, it's so hard to defend so many different bases, so you really got to try to apply pressure in small amounts. I want to say I don't like seeing giant big pushes like that. I wish he would have pushed that a little bit sooner. You know, with that giant ball, if he pushed a little bit sooner with that, he could have done some good damage to Zerg, but instead he let Zerg kind of just get up a lot of minerals saved up with his 200 food army, and Zerg kept up the pressure, did little bits of damage everywhere, and well, now Protoss is pretty much screwed. It's not enough bases. He does have a third up here, or a fourth up here at the natural third. And it's going to be hard for Fuzzy to really get over there, but I really wish Angel would put up some cannons here or something. Or maybe back here. And it sounds kind of crazy, but I mean, with that in mind, you could deal with counterattacks. They would delay this kind of attack. And then you could just, you know, this would be extremely safe then. And then you could put up another expansion there and another one there. Now, of course, you do have to deal with drops then, if Fuzzy decided to do drops. That's just kind of what sucks about Protoss. It's hard to really deal with a whole bunch of drops if you're low on bases. So with that in mind, Liquid Angel doesn't have a lot of food here. He doesn't have a ton of probes. He only has 47 probes, actually 54 drones here for Fuzzy. And Liquid Angel coming around to attack, or defend, I should say, against these roaches. Now there's a big push here at the natural, or at the gold expansion here once again from Fuzzy. Now I really wish he would just get the freaking burrow. No, even though there's detection here, that'd still help out. Get under it and attack these guys. But yeah, meanwhile the roach is going for that. Wow, it actually took out that Nexus there, and a couple of roaches going to be killed off, but taking out that Nexus is definitely a big win, because right now Liquid Angel stuck on that one base, and it's actually going to be getting low here. Ooh, and the Broodlord's out, and Liquid Angel just leaves. He sees the Broodlord and says, alright, I can't win anymore. Just lost my Nexus, that is just not good. So there, kind of a long game. I felt like it could have been over a little bit sooner, but again, these guys are not top professional, you know, pro players here. They are just below that type of thing, so there's that. Oh man, I'm actually pretty tired after that cast. I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 more, maybe 3 more, but I am gonna be taking a short break, just give my voice and my head a rest. You know, when I get this tired, I start slurring, I start saying things wrong, and it's just kind of weird. So I do want to keep casting, just get my voice good and prepared for some long-term casting. But I do need a short break, so I'm gonna take maybe, let's see, like 5 minutes. Probably start back up. Yeah, like a couple minutes to the hour. I don't want to start like all the way at 7, but you know, like 5-10 minutes maybe. So I hope you guys come back for that. And yeah, I'm gonna keep the stream going, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be saved as one video. And yeah,